is going to be on today. I think she said it's a man thing, so I didn't think she's going to be here. But I'm sure she's somewhere listening into our conversation. So I think we are waiting on our special guest. We're waiting on our special guest to appear, and let's hope that she will appear in time. Let's see how that goes. Still trying to solve out some technical difficulties here in the studio uh, to ensure that the station is picking up everything. So let us just fix that little problem, and once that is fixed, we'll be fine. So, how are you doing, sir? How are you doing this morning? You could unmute your microphone and let's chit chat a little bit to ensure everything is working well.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. So it's always my pleasure to feature on this program as a course, and also I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm doing well. Thank you.
That is great. That is good. I'm glad to know that you're doing it. You're doing well. I'm just going through the last stages of double checking to make sure that all stations are hearing us live. It's amazing how time flies upon you when you think you have, a whole hour to do the broadcast, and then you find out something happens, something pops up on the screen, and you're not able to finish up on time. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Very loud and clear. Very loud and clear.
Okay, I am double checking this thing to make sure. Uh, Getting a little technical difficulty right here, but I'll sort it out in a few minutes. How was your week? I think you got bumped off as well. Well, I guess everybody's having technical difficulties this morning, and we are here trying our best to make sure that uh, things work out well for all of us. So let's double check again to make sure that we are getting in there. Let's make sure that we're getting in there, that all is well. We're still having a technical issue. Let me just double check here and see one more time, and then we will hit the road running.
getting me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. You set?
Okay. All right. Well, let's get going. Let's get the program going and officially. So let me reintroduce myself again to the audience. This is Dr. Green, broadcasting on Caribbean Connect. We are live in the studio with our special guest, and we are so privileged to have him here this morning to be on the show. His name is Thompson. I think it's Gosse. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And we have our and we have our um, co-host, Mr. Emmanuel, with us. So I would allow Mr. Emmanuel to go ahead and introduce him properly, pronouncing his name correct and all that, and then we will take it from there.
Yes, thank you very much. Very nice to be in the studio.
Hold 1 second, Mr. Emmanuel. Hold 1 second, Emmanuel. Hold 1 second, Mr. Thompson. If you could keep your microphone muted until you're ready to speak, then you just put it on and speak, and then once you finish speaking, you mute it back again. Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yes. So, as I was saying, very nice to be in the studio with coach Thompson Gauss from the Football Club Confidence Sports Academy, one of the teams in Zambia. So today we have a last game, basically Football Arena. So the rest is our year more as the program is unfolding. Therefore, I hand it over to you, Doc. So, once more, welcome, coach, to the program. I'm unable to pick you. I don't know, maybe we have network challenges here. I'm unable to pick you.
Okay, well, we're here today to talk football. We're here to talk soccer. I understand that you are the coach of an extraordinary football team, of which Emmanuel is a part of it. You know, every week we try to bring on individuals that on the show that the show is called Voices of Youth. Voices of Youth. Okay. Okay. Hold 1 second. Hold 1 second. Hold 1 second.
There was a time that I was unable to pick you, but I think I've gotten the last part of your statement where you're saying, I tell you where it started from and where we are at. Is that right? Yes, coach. Okay, so Precision Sports Academy is the team, and this team has been in existence for about 6 years now, going to 7 years. Though there was a time that we went to sleep because of financial challenges. So this team is based in the Copper Belt of Zambia, and we're playing the lower division, because the youth development soccer that we embarked on as a project, developing young talent into resounding ones. So this club has 21 players, and it has an executive of 4 people, the chairman, the chairman, and the 2 coaches and the assistant. I don't know if you are still able to pick me. Like I said, my apologies again. I'm in a place where there is a little bit of some noise. So kindly advise, if you are unable to pick me, you advise.
Yes, we are picking you up.
We are picking you up. Yeah, so as I was saying, this team has players, a number of 21, and Emmanuel is just one of those players that we've been having in the club, and so committed to the cause. He's been a team captain, taking over from a certain a player that we allowed to go and join another club somewhere in Lusaka. So Emmanuel remained the captain and a leader of the rest of the boys.
So, tell us what part of the game that he play on the field.
You're saying?
Tell us what part of the game he plays on. What part of the field does he play?
Okay, so Emmanuel started in goal. That's a little bit of a story about him. He started in a goal. He was managing the posts. But I think there was a time that we had a challenge with the people that would give us goals. And so during training, we noticed that he was able to pick goals just within training. So we decided to push him to a forward, and he fitted so well. And then it became our main striker. So Emmanuel plays soccer, and he's a talented young lad.
Okay, great. What motivated you to begin the club? Are you the founder of the club or just one of the senior people in the club? What motivated you guys to start the football club?
I'm having a background. I'm a footballer, though old now. I've been playing, and because I felt to go through into the higher divisions of the lucrative divisions, I decided to start nurturing young talent. And so in a place where I went to stay in, where I relocated to, I discovered that, boys were not having anybody to help them do the soccer training and all those things. There were no activities that were actually encouraging boys to be part of the soccer movement. So I decided to make a very small pitch somewhere just in the backyard, where we started from with a very small number of boys. And it grew because, it got a lot of interest, and they started coming until we were about 40. Now the pitch was too small, so we relocated to a community ground where we started, and eventually there was a man that saw what we were doing, came up with a proposal that they are trying to sponsor a team, and this main team is based in Lusaka called Precision, and so he's thought of opening a branch in Frila. That's where I was, and we accepted that, and we changed from my own efforts to somebody who wanted to sponsor and give us some balls in the beginning, and that's where Emmanuel and the rest started from in the league.
Okay, great. So you actually used to play professional football before?
Because of so many challenges that football has in Zambia, especially, I particularly felt to pull through because of the challenges, sponsorship, and of course facilities. And especially when you're playing from the rural areas, it's very difficult to rise. So I was a footballer. I was playing in a school team. I was playing in a club, a social club, until a time that I thought I should concentrate in school, because football-wise there was no one to
to help me, rise up to the standard that I wanted and hoped to. So I stopped a little bit and concentrated with school until a time that I completed my O levels. That's when I started thinking I can get to football again. So I went to do a training coaching course. It is classified D. I think in simple terms, a certificate holder of coaching, football coaching. And that's where I started thinking, instead of just sitting, I would nurture the young ones so that they get into the clubs that they desire. And of course, they're inspired to see and watch every time. Yep.
That sounds really great because our show focuses on young people. It's called Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, and we changed the name last week to Globally because we were focused just on the African continent and decided to do it more on a global scale where we look for young people all over the world to participate in the program. And when I heard about the club through Emmanuel, I felt this was a good conversation to have to see what was the whole reason of you guys coming together to stage a football team. What are some of the challenges that you face um, from the initial stages to where you are right now? You say you've been around for about 7 years. What are some of the challenges as a young football team and as a management manager of the team that you guys have faced?
All right. The many challenges are that, first of all, before I go into the challenges, I would openly tell you that football in Zambia is not so much supported at grassroots because the concentration is so much on the Premier League and the team that have sponsors meaning that have finances to help them do the business or promote the young boys. So all in all, the challenges that we face is a sponsorship and the facilities that we are supposed to develop these talents from. Because the area that I went to start this team from is a community, is a small arrangement where people live together in their houses built there, and so you decide to gather young boys and start something. I would tell you that I was challenged because, and the first time that we went into a field football pitch, we had over 100 kids that came to attend the activity. And it went on like that. It gave me so much challenge because there was no way I would arrange everything all by myself until certain people started showing interest to come to the pitch and help in the way so that we split them and have rich mates. If I may say, I will use that word. We have, segments of or say ages that will fit what we want to give into the children. So the challenges mainly is sponsorship and facilities and materials, say footballs or weather footballs, the football boots, the jerseys, and other other materials that we need to use in football pitch, like cones and of course goal nets. So these are mainly the things that we need to have gathered already for you to have a definition of a team. If you have balls, at least 10 balls, that will help a great deal. If you have jerseys, maybe 2 or 3 sets, that will help a great deal as well. You have the nets for the goals, and of course, you have people that are managing. You have to set up a structure. So it is very difficult for people to come and be part of the structures because of the sponsorship that they're not seeing. If there's no money, it is very difficult to mobilize. Yep. Over.
Yeah. So Emmanuel, you could come in at any time. I'm going to ask another question here. How do you then, when so many young people are showing interest, you said up to 100 of the kids came out showing interest in the football. How do you qualify them to be part of the team? Um, how do you recognize the talent? And if you have so much people that may qualify to have a talent in the football arena, how do you then tell a child you cannot be part of the team because we don't have sufficient money, we already picked the team, or is there a way of training everybody and then choosing the best eventually, and given so that everybody could get a fair chance of being able to showcase their talent?
All right. Normally, when you have a number, like I mentioned, 100 of the boys that wants to be part of your team, it's difficult to pick. But of course, there's a way that comes out naturally because certain boys show you talent and you see it outright that this young boy is talented. So you begin by making groups, maybe 11 versus 11, and you pick from the 22, you make one team, you play, you again make another fixture, 11 versus 11, you pick another 11. Those that you feel are going to really show their talent better. So that is just one method. You just encourage everyone to be part of the games. As long as you see that they are better, you select them by writing down their names and make one team that is having boys that are capable of doing what you want to see.
So Ajay, basically within the group you have different levels of football. You may have uh, a junior team, or you may have a senior team, or you may have an intermediate team, based on the ages, or are you looking for a particular age um, of footballers, like, you know, footballers who are Emmanuel's age, or are there junior teams as well?
Actually, the way we were arranging these boys, we have levels like under 12, under 16, and the amateur team that consists of boys that are about 20 years, 20 years of age. Normally, this is what this is how the arrangement is like, because those that are playing the amateur teams normally start from 17 years going up to 22 or 23 years old. So we normally were under 22 team, they will have the under 17 team, and then the other registered in a league, in a particular league that is accepting their age group. That is the criteria, so to say. Over.
Okay, so that can be pretty challenging, because when you're thinking about young men who are showing an enthusiasm and a likeness for the game, and then now you have to break them up into several teams so that you can not only train the senior ones, but you want to keep the training going for the younger ones. So by the time we get to that particular age, you have a handful of young men that you can select from to begin to get into that age group. So you always have a backup of already trained young people to fill the places of um, players who are going on to higher levels, national levels, and stuff like that. And then you could always pick from those. What about the girls? Are there any interest in the girls in here?
Yeah, there were interest one, but for now we thought the girls are a little bit of a challenge. We need to have somebody who, what can I say, maybe a lady coach that has a heart for the game. Because normally the challenges that we're facing is that women will not even show interest to come to the football pitch and see what the girls are doing. So sometimes we'll have girls and they'll just be outside the pitch watching what boys are doing. Just a handful of them. But there was a time that we tried having the girls, and we had a very good response, because we had a good number of them coming to training, and of course, getting what we wanted to get. But because of inconsistency, the number of girls was fading away bit by bit until we had only about less than 10, which made it so difficult for us to continue. But I think, just like I said, all in all, if you have financial support and you have a delivery program that we want to do to venture into girls soccer, it is a doable thing. Program.
All right. Let's bring in Emmanuel now as one of the teams that Emmanuel, you open your microphone now. Your coach talked about you being in the goalpost at one point in time. How good of a goalkeeper you were, or you think you were? So did you find a greater love for the game in being a striker than being in the goalpost? What made the coach see that you are? I mean, you might have been getting the goalpost, but what sparked the whole interest in the coach to see that you were probably more effective on the field as a striker? Being a striker's position is serious business. I don't know why my name for some reason did not get as clear as I normally would hear you. Let me. I'm going to switch out. Um, I'm going to switch out on. Use another microphone and I'll see. So you can continue the conversation while I switch out to see if it will make a difference in how I feel. So go ahead and control the show.
So that you play like now a tournament, and of course we finished in the semi-final. That was at first. Then second, we were knocked from the quarterfinals.
But I guess all of that is in this in a place where you're progressing. You could actually see that you are progressing, and it takes a lot of dedication and commitment to stay with you. You may not win, because everybody wants to win. But at least every day when you finish, you're
fixtures, maybe you are going very far. Because at some point, even before some who came to sponsor us, the one that the coach talked about, we were just, from our own pockets, maybe you have to ask other teammates, we contribute, how much is there, or so much is the coach there. Then you just get the eye for you.
So there are many times that you have to, be your own sponsor, I guess.
Yes, many times, especially when it comes like to football boots, as the coach said, find that you have to ask maybe your family members or yourself, you go and do a piece work here and there, you buy your own boots, maybe as a team, because the standard was at least the match day, the home team has to have 2 balls. And now you see, you cannot be using the same balls for training and also for games, so you need extra balls. So this, it somehow, without sponsorship, you find that when it comes to financially, it's very difficult to run a team. It's very difficult.
Wow. So I guess right now, based on the whole conversation, that there is a need for
For advertising talent, you might take yourself a short clip of juggling and when skill you post there, people might have, they might like it and circulate it, and somebody at some times or at any time it might land in somebody who may open door for you. And for other people who are in capacity to help, especially the sports which are being conducted in the rural areas or disadvantaged areas, for lack of a better term, please, if you are in capacity to help with noise station, just help. And yes, that's the hope. That's the hope.
seen and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone, what we offer. Global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally. Where every voice builds a better world.